Learning with Steve!
Hi and welcome back to Learning with Steve. This unit that we have here is OB3. OB3 is a broadcast unit that can be used for 4 camera shoots generally. It has a 3-play and a TriCaster 410 in it. It has talkback, radio talkback, sound desk, a UPS and all networking gear. Let's take a look at how to plug it in to turn the power on first.
Learning with Steve!
So the first thing we want to do is plug in the power. There's a special type of kettle lead that goes into it. It's a bit thicker than the general one. And we plug that into here. The next thing we're going to plug in is there's a female kettle lead end. Now this cable will power the whole unit. It runs up to this black strip here, which has all the plugs in. You don't need to worry about that, but I'm just telling you where it goes.
Learning with Steve!
Here at 247.tv, all our ports are colour coded. Blue SDI ports are SDI outs, and black SDI ports are SDI in. On the left side, on the second row down, we have the HDMI ports for the 3-play, and underneath that are the USB ports. On the right hand side, we have the same for the 410. HDMI at the top, USBs at the bottom. In the middle of the second row down is a headphone jack port. That goes straight to the 410, and there's also a USB 3 port, which also goes to the 410. There is a HDMI port with a blue ring around it. That signifies that it's the final out, which goes straight into the back of the 410. Underneath that is a power strip which is connected to the UPS. So on the next row down we have a red port, which is a network port. This is to signify that it's where the internet goes in. That goes directly into the router, which then goes to the switches. If you get to a situation where you can't use the router, just plug directly into the back with the switch. Here at the top we have the router. The next down is the switch. Next there are 4 ports with a green ring around them. At 247 green rings indicate that it's part of the talkback system. There are 4 talkback ports. The left 2 are channels A, the right hand side are channels B. And the next 4 are our general network ports. These are connected directly into the switch, so that if you need to bypass the router, it won't interfere with those ports. Below that we have the 410, and below that we have the TechPro talkback system. There's an on switch on the left hand side. It should already be on from previous jobs. You don't really have to touch that at all. Below that is the 3-play, and below that is the radio unit. Below the radio unit is the UPS. The UPS is turned on by the top button on the UPS. If your UPS is beeping, it means it has no power. If you see now on the top there is a green light, that means the power that it's getting is good. If you see a red flashing light, it means it's running out of power. It'll beep once every few seconds, and that indicates it's got no power. When it starts beeping repeatedly, it means you're about to run out of power and need to fix it immediately. The UPS will run for about 20 minutes, depending on how much load you have on it. So, important to remember, the radio unit that's inside OB3 is actually unplugged and remains that way. You have to plug in aerials at the back before you insert power. If you do not do this, you'll blow up the unit, because there's a lot of power going down the aerials.
Learning with Steve!
So the radio unit can be a bit fiddly to plug in. There's an aerial port on the left hand side of the back here. Let's get that out of the way. And there's also an SDI port in the middle. So we have the aerial, plug the female end into the port at the back, as shown before. And then we have another aerial with an adapter with the SDI end. And that goes into the SDI port. The power on this radio unit is here, this grey cable here. As you can see, it won't fit into the port here. That's to stop people just plugging it in generally. You'll need to grab a IEC cable or a kettle lead and plug it in yourself. So this unit also comes with a sound desk, so like this. You can go up to use it easier. Also has a light attached. This sound desk has 12 XLR inputs. It has 2 XLR outputs, but it has 4 outputs for jacks that you can use with the 1 to 4 range.
Learning with Steve!